This morning, it's back to school and back to masking.
Controversial comedian Bill Cosby is planning a comedy tour in 2023.
That should have been the end of it, because that's how a team works, right?
You can lose weight, your blood pressure improves, your skin improves.
Oh my gosh, as if enough stuff wasn't going on, mask mandates are back in many areas across the country. Bill Cosby is planning a comedy tour. Kevin McCarthy still can't get the votes to be the Speaker of the House. And also, dry January. What are the benefits for you? All that and more coming up on this episode of Daily Caller Live. My name is Jobob. Thanks so much for tuning in. Daily Caller Live starts right now.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Might be the only brown guy on earth named Jobob.
That is actually her name, Jobob.
Live from the dingy bunker, completely cut off from the outside world, except for you fine folks. My name is Jobob. This is Daily Caller Live. Thanks so much for tuning in on today. It is Wednesday, January 4th, the year of our Lord 2022. A lot of stuff to get to, so we'll just get right into it. Mask mandates are back. Bill Cosby again going on tour. Did you have that in your bingo card for 2023? I sure didn't. And then a bunch of stuff in the house that we'll talk about coming up. But yeah, first, let's get to this. Mask mandates are coming back across the country, especially in schools. So yet again, we are seeing, hey, this didn't work, but we're going to try it again, and you're going to follow what we say. I heard about this first yesterday because my wife, who many of you know works at a jail here in Southern California, in California, as it's affectionately called in many places around the country, said, yeah, they're making us wear masks again, starting effectively at 3 p.m. yesterday. And that was a weird thing for me to hear, so I dug into it a little bit, and sure enough, lots of places around the country are going back to mask mandates. Obviously, I have some opinions. You probably have some opinions, but let's watch, I believe this is CBS this morning, talking about the mask mandates that are coming back for kids in schools. Again, it is hard to deviate from the ridiculousness, but we will, I guess, have to just continue making fun of it. Also, if you haven't, by the way, would appreciate you clicking the little like button and the little share button and letting us know in the comment section. Would you put your kid in a mask nowadays? What, 3 effing years into this stupid thing? I think a lot of us were saying this is never going to end, and it's showing that we are apparently correct in that assertion. Check this out. Also, yeah, again, like button, share button. Would appreciate you doing so. Watch this, and we'll discuss on the other side.
This morning, it's back to school and back to masking for hundreds of thousands of American students.
Carl had RSV. I've had COVID myself. He has a cough now, so we're dealing with it.
In cities like Philadelphia, Boston, Camden, and Patterson in New Jersey, schools are once again asking kids to temporarily cover up their faces.
We think we're making the right decision, notwithstanding what other school districts across the country may or may not be doing.
We want to stay with in-person instruction. And so we're just following the data and the science at this point.
Medical experts say this isn't the same as last year's surge, but do believe in places of high spread, masks in schools could be beneficial, especially after time away for the holidays.
Okay, so that lady she was probably a school board member somewhere in your densely populated Philadelphia area saying, well, we're just following the science here. Are numbers going up for things? Yes. People get sick in the winter. That's a thing that happens and has been happening since the dawn of time. So if that's shocking to you, I can buy you an almanac if you need one, or you can also just simply Google when people are more likely to get sick. But I think it's hilarious that that's still an excuse to people. We're just following the science. Haven't we, as an entirety of a culture, haven't we on this show and on pretty much dang near every talk show in the country made fun of that statement to the point where nobody feels safe using it? And I'm not saying safe is obviously physically, but in terms of being ridiculed. How do you think that you can still use those words and say, with a serious tone, we are trusting the science? Everybody is aware of what the science says and what the actual facts behind any of the matters that you're discussing actually says. So in what way do you think you can still get away with, well, we're following the science and not be made fun of until we are all blue in the face? I don't understand it, but apparently it's still happening. That's pretty much it for this. We'll move on pretty quickly, but I think another interesting thing to bring up, the vaccine mandate. Did you guys know that vaccine mandates are still a thing? I was entirely unaware of that. All companies got rid of that like a year ago. And but apparently it's still a thing for travelers. I again was unaware of this, but if you're not a U.S. national and you are traveling from anywhere outside the country into the country, you have to show that you're vaccinated or get a negative test. I didn't know that that was still a thing. Well, good news, it was set to expire on the 8th, which is what, Sunday? Unfortunately, though, that got pushed back too. We're still in crazy town, and the U.S. has just extended the COVID vaccine travel air mandate for non-U.S. nationals set to expire January 8th until April 10th, 2023. Jeez, man. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to say here. We're just continuing to pretend that all of this is normal. Samantha says masks don't work. That would be what the science says, especially for kids. Look. Okay, let's offer an olive branch here. If you have an N95 or a KN95 mask and you wear it properly, that will help. But cloth masks don't do dang near anything. Those like little scarf things that you pull up over your face actually make it worse, says the science. And kids don't wear masks well at all. They mostly just kind of blah, 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 all over their face because they're kids, and therefore it doesn't work. Therefore, mask mandates wouldn't work. So yes, Samantha, that comment seems adequate. Jerry says something that I think a lot of us are saying too. It's all about control. In all caps, as appears to be, yes, it would be all about control here. Okay, so there's this. Let's get to this. This is actually interesting. Christian says RSV is so dangerous to babies, and it's worse this year. Yeah, I agree with that. Is it worth putting everybody else in terms of young kids at a substantial learning loss? Probably not. I don't think so. And also that's assuming that would help stop it, which a lot of people don't think it would. But yeah, RSV is worse this year, and you don't want your kid to get it. So there's that. All right, let's get to this because I feel like everybody is talking about this. The clown show, the Babylon Bee, had a great headline. I'm not going to quote it directly. It's like the clowns all have a meeting to decide who will be the king of the clowns, or queen. They let women be the Speaker of the House also, Nancy Pelosi. But yesterday, Kevin McCarthy, we went probably a little too deep on this story. Kevin McCarthy could not secure the votes for the House in 4 votes. I think it was 4 votes. I was like half paying attention to this. I was watching Fox News at the gym, and it was like they had just finished the 3rd vote, and they said 4th vote expected. I was too lazy to figure out if they actually did get to that 4th vote. But the bottom line is, Kevin did not actually get the votes. And here's some of the interesting things that I think that's been scattered around the internet. This is quite an interesting video of let's just in the comment section, if you were to pit 2 congresspeople on opposite sides, who is the most opposite of those congresspeople? Would it be, I don't know, Ilhan Omar and Jim Jordan? No, probably not. But who are the 2 congresspeople that would be the exact polar opposite of each other ideologically? I'm not going to give you very much time to guess. I would say it's probably Matt Gaetz and AOC. here's them talking in the chamber yesterday, or on the House floor yesterday. This is kind of interesting. This is really just them talking. I'm just going to play this clip. Not a lot going on, but AOC and Matt Gaetz, who again are probably exact opposites, just kind of chatting it up on the floor. The bottom line here is I don't really care about this all that much. I don't think it's all that big of a deal. It is just kind of, I don't know, just what Congress people do. A lot of people are like, why would Matt Gaetz ever talk to her? And a lot of liberals, I would imagine, are saying, why would she ever talk to him? Okay, they talk. That is what it is. But it is interesting just in terms of bringing that up. Who is kind of heading this thing up? So yesterday, Kevin didn't get the votes. And after he didn't get the votes, Jim Jordan got up. This is the first vote. Jim Jordan got up and then endorsed Kevin McCarthy. Sometimes people do symbolic type of stuff. Oh, we're not going to vote for you on the first vote. We'll vote for you on the second vote. So Jim Jordan got up and endorsed Kevin McCarthy for the speaker role for the second vote. Then immediately after that, Matt Gaetz stood up and nominated Jim Jordan, who ended up getting more votes on the second vote than he did on the first vote, because he was officially nominated. I think he got 19 votes on the second vote. I think this is Jim Jordan being asked if he wants to be the speaker. Now, let me know in the comment section if you believe him, because this is him walking back to his office at some point, I believe in the middle of the day, being asked what he would like to see happen. It's kind of interesting. This is Jim Jordan, again, who was officially nominated by Matt Gaetz to be the Speaker of the House. Check it out.
But is there any chance that you may be Speaker of the House?
No, watch yourself. No, I'm being clear. I want to chair Judiciary Committee. I mean, you guys know I like this ability to cross-examine witnesses and get the truth for the country. So that's what I'm focused on.
What needs to change between now and when this ends?
Close to change. It looks like to me.
So how do you do that, though?
I don't know. We're going to work on it. But I got to get back to the office.
Are you guys having more meetings and negotiations tonight, sir?
Johnson for dinner. Thanks, guys.
So I believe him. I think Jim Jordan saying, yeah, I don't have any interest in being the speaker. I like cross-examining witnesses. Jim Jordan I believe he would chair the Judiciary Committee, which would be in charge of bringing in all the investigations. So look, if nobody gets the speaker role, I've been wondering, like, what happens? Apparently, if nobody gets the role of the Speaker of the House, it just kind of hangs in limbo, and none of the committees are able to be formed, and therefore there's no chairs appointed to those committees, and therefore those committees can't start investigations, which is what everybody is excited about. So that's the actual problem. Because yesterday, I think I said, like, okay, so Congress can't do anything? Sounds great. Sounds like that sounds like a working Congress. Congress not doing a dang thing and nothing happening. This sounds like a fantastic plan. But some people would argue, well, the reason we don't want that happening is because we want to drag Dr. Fauci in front of the Judiciary Committee and a bunch of the other committees and question him as Republicans controlling those committees. Will anything come of it? I don't actually know, but a lot of people are really, really excited for that happening. So I understand why they would want Congress to get its act together. Now, speaking of people who want Congress to get their act together, Dan Crenshaw, which I've been made aware in the comment sections and on Twitter that just mentioning Dan's name sparks blood-curdling anger in some of you. Fine. Okay. That's fine. He's still a congressman, and I'm going to play what he said. And then there was a tweet that I saw from a friend of mine who I think encapsulated the majority of it. And then we'll get to some of these comments, because I think some of the comments are kind of fun. All right, so listen to Dan Crenshaw and his take on this. He's visibly frustrated while talking to a reporter from CNN, and we will talk about it on the other side. Oh, also, by the way, if you haven't already, would appreciate you clicking the little like button and the little share button, or just leaving a comment section in the comments. Let us know what you think. What is going to happen? What do you want to see happen? Do you think Kevin McCarthy is going to step aside and let somebody else do it, or do you think he's going to hold his ground until he finally gets the votes? Because somebody has to win. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Check this out.
This handful of members is very clearly looking for notoriety over principle. That's what it is. And anyone who suggests differently is in some kind of make-believe fantasy reality. It's not true. They lost those debates. That should have been the end of it, because that's how a team works, right? You hash this stuff out, you figure it out, and then you move on. But if you're a narcissist and you believe that your opinion is so much more important than everyone else's, then you'll keep going. And you'll threaten to tear down the team for the benefit of the Democrats, just because of your own sense of self-importance. That's exactly what's happening here. We will not vote for anyone else but McCarthy. These people think they're stubborn, we're more stubborn. They think they're not going to get the communities they want. Well, obviously they won't, but it's going to be so much worse than that. You know, they are enemies now. They have made it clear that they prefer a Democrat agenda than a Republican one.
Yeah, we don't need to hear what this guy has to say. But the bottom line is this: they can't figure it out, and doesn't look like they're going to be able to figure it out today. To get to some of the comment section here, Linda says this buffoonery has to stop. Republicans are leaving the GOP because of it. I agree with you, Linda. The buffoonery does have to stop. Republicans leaving the GOP. Yes, sure. Okay. Conservatives, I think, are leaving the GOP. Republicans are different. That the GOP is Republican. Those are the same things. Jamie says clown show. I would agree with that. Randy says the hallway for a rhino has to be a wide berth. Yeah, so I think that's the staking the claim on Kevin McCarthy here and Dan Crenshaw. A lot of people not fans of them because they call them rhinos, which is your opinion. That's totally fine. Let's see. Donna says Kat Kamek. I've met Kat a couple times and I've always emphasized the wrong letters in her last name. I don't think she's up for the vote, but I guess we'll see. Anna says, same old crap. They already do nothing, which, okay, I'm good with that. Eddie says Dan crossed the Rhino Bridge a long time ago. Amy says he should hold his ground. I'm not sure who she's talking about. She's talking about Kevin, Matt Gaetz, Dan Crenshaw, Jim Jordan. I'm not entirely sure, but somebody needs to hold their ground, which is currently the problem in the vote for the speaker. And finally, Thomas, who is issuing a sentiment that I have been saying entirely yesterday. I even changed my Twitter name to provoke this happening. Thomas says, okay, I'll take the speaker job, but everyone needs to fasten their chin straps. Yes, Thomas, we will nominate you officially. I also threw my name in the ring for speaker yesterday on all of my social media platforms. Jobob for Speaker is my Instagram title. Jobob for Speaker is my little memo thing on Instagram right now. Did I say Instagram? Twitter is basically Jobob for Speaker. I tweeted yesterday, if this post gets 7 likes, I will be the Speaker of the House. And it far exceeded that like threshold. Unfortunately, I have yet to receive a call from Kevin to see what's happening. And, that is what it is. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to try and copy paste this because I feel like this is, let's see. We're editing on the fly here. And I'm going to put this in here and see if this. Oh no! It maxed out of the amount of letters. All right, this is a tweet from Charlie Kirk, a friend of mine, colleague, good dude, and he kind of said exactly what I think I'm thinking. He said, I have a lot of friends that refuse to vote for McCarthy as speaker. But after 3 votes and 0 movement, I have to ask, what's the plan? Do you have enough power to build something and win, or just enough power to tear it down and we all lose? I think that's about where I am. Is Kevin McCarthy my first choice for speaker? No. Is he my 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th choice for speaker? No, he is not. But what's the plan, guys? Like, what are we doing to try and figure out how to consolidate some sort of power in order to move this thing forward? Tucker on his show yesterday said that Kevin's going to have to make some concessions that he would never make. I don't know that that's true. I think Kevin would be willing to negotiate. I think at this point, in a lot of ways, it kind of just seems like a publicity stunt from the holdouts, which may work to their benefit. I don't actually know. But again, my sentiment on this is, yo, guys, what's the plan? Karen says the Republicans look disorganized. They can't get through the initial part and actually run the House. Republicans are saying, like a lot of conservative people are saying that too. There's a lot of MSNBC, CNN lefties out there going, Republicans can't get their act together, and a lot of us are like, yeah, you're right. What's going on here? Let's figure this out, guys, and get the ball rolling. That's enough of that. A hard transition here into something that's completely and entirely unrelated to the speaker, but is freaking fascinating. Bill Cosby has said that he's going to go on a comedy tour in 2023. You heard me right. Bill Cosby. Watch this short news clip, and then we'll discuss some of the ramifications of that next. Check it out.
Also new this morning, controversial comedian Bill Cosby is planning a comedy tour in 2023. He made the comment during a surprise radio interview yesterday. Now at 85 years old, Cosby was convicted in Pennsylvania in 2018 for criminal sexual assault. He served nearly 3 years before his conviction was overturned, but 5 women recently filed new sexual assault lawsuits against him under a New York law that temporarily suspends the statute of limitations. A spokesperson for Cosby has called the lawsuits frivolous.
In a radio interview on Wednesday on Ohio's WGH Talk, Bill Cosby was asked by host Scott Spears if he plans to tour soon. Yes, Cosby replied, yes, because there's so much fun to be had in this storytelling that I do. Years, maybe 10 years ago, I found it better to say it after I write it. Cosby representative Andrew Watt confirmed to Variety that the comedian is looking at spring/summer to start touring. Okay, here's the thing, Bill. I think what they need to keep in mind in the Bill Cosby camp, the charges were dismissed on a technicality. Everybody still thinks you did it, dude. And nobody's like, oh yeah, well, he's innocent. That's what happened. No. Everything got dismissed. He spent 3 years in jail. And then finally, the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, if you don't remember this, the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania said, yeah, but you weren't allowed to use this particular piece of evidence because of this particular thing, and we're going to throw this out. Again, based on a technicality, nobody, literally nobody, thinks that Bill Cosby is innocent of the majority of the crimes he's been accused of. Also, what I think is fascinating here is that if I were Bill Cosby, if I were him at 85 years old, why, you don't need to tour anymore. Just go sit in a rocking chair on a porch and drink iced tea. That's my dream right now. And I'm 32 years old. I can't imagine being 85 years old and wanting to do more work. I can't imagine that. But also, he does have these other pending cases against him in the state of New York that has, I believe, I'm not familiar specifically with this, but I think the state of New York has, like what the newscasters said, released or waived the statute of limitations and allowed these other women to bring, the comedian is still facing a lawsuit brought by 5 women in New York who claim Cosby raped them. Dude, keep your head down. Like, what are you doing getting out there in public? And I say this, by the way, thinking Bill Cosby is a bad person. This is what I'm speaking as a PR person, I guess. If I were Bill Cosby's PR people, like, dude, let's not bring attention to ourselves right now. That would be problematic for us and our whole goal of keeping you out of prison. Again, none of this absolves Bill Cosby of what everybody thinks he still did. And 2, there are still pending lawsuits. The last thing you want to do is bring negative attention to yourself to go into those trials with. This is ridiculous. And I guess the last thing that it just blows my mind here that this is coming out is who's going to go to this? Who are the people that are like, oh yeah, I've been waiting for Bill Cosby to tour again. I'm going to be first in line to get my tickets. Like, who is he going to be performing to? I think the Wi-Fi is going out a little bit. We're might be a little bit glitchy, so sorry about that. That was probably too much of a rant for this. Bill is 85. Asked Eddie. He's how old is Bill? He's 85 years old, dude. Why? A lot of the comments on here are still regarding Kevin and people talking about the omnibus, all of that sort of stuff. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, we'll go to this. I mean, I have been teasing the story. This is not that interesting. I'll be honest with you. that's sure how you get viewers to stay paying attention. Say this is not that interesting. So, all right. So people have heard about Dry January. Dry January is a bunch of people that don't do any sort of drugs or alcohol for the month of January. I think some people are like, oh, it's just an alcohol thing. No, it's like weed and other things that people do to enhance their life, I guess. But Dry January is a thing, and it's been a thing for a while now. And there's a lot of people. So what this came is there's a bunch of people that say it's beneficial to not drink during the month of January. The science seems to be overwhelming that it's a positive thing, and more people should do it. But what sparked my interest in this is there was a Washington Post piece that said the dangers of Dry January. Like, all right. So now we're just being contrarian and combating everything nowadays. So check this out. Watch this clip. I believe this is from CBS this morning. No, it's what is George Stephanopoulos on? He's on the ABC show. ABC Good Day. I don't know. One of the shows talking about Dry January. Watch this, and then we'll talk about the Washington Post piece that completely counteracts these positive effects of Dry January. Check it out.
What difference can a month make?
Well, that's the interesting thing is that now that this has been so popular, there's actually published data on this. And some studies have shown that people who do this Dry January actually tend to consume less alcohol when they come out of the month. And then there are physiologic benefits. You can lose weight, your blood pressure improves, your skin improves, you sleep better, your mood improves. And so these benefits can be noted definitely within 30 days. And then again, most people tend to keep it going to some degree.
Okay, so those are the obvious reasons why people should participate in Dry January. There's some Bill Cosby comments here that I want to get to too. But I thought this was kind of interesting. This is from the Washington Post. They said it's important to know, well, basically they're talking about the dangers of Dry January and symptoms. Those who drink regularly or near daily are physiologically dependent or physically physiologically dependent on alcohol are at risk. Of the 14% of adults in the U.S. who have an alcohol use disorder, about half develop AWS, alcohol withdrawal syndrome, not Amazon Web Services. When they reduce or stop drinking, most will experience mild symptoms, but while 1 in 5 will progress to moderate or severe alcohol withdrawal symptoms. The longer someone has been drinking, yada, 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 yada. The bottom line is what they're saying is the mild symptoms may occur in the 14% of adults in the U.S. who have an alcohol disorder, which is crazy high if you think about it. Because I think about half of American adults drink alcohol, and of those half of Americans who drink, 14% of the total of Americans have, this is what this article says, 14% of adults in the U.S. have an alcohol use disorder. Of the 14% who have an alcohol use disorder, about half sorry, I'm misreading the statistics. Okay. So basically, the Washington Post did this big old article about how a small fraction of the percentage of the people may have severe symptoms, and in their defense, you could die from it. That's a thing that happens. So there's that. Like I said, not super interesting. So maybe we'll just leave it there and jump back to a couple Bill Cosby comments. And by a couple, I mean one. Jamie says that Cosby will be admired only by other pedophiles. Maybe that's what's going on here. Maybe this is all an FBI sting operation. They're telling Bill Cosby, as a part of some bigger plea deal, you're going to announce a tour, and anybody who shows up to that tour, we're going to arrest for, I don't know, being a pedophile or doing whatever. I don't just that was a half-formed thought / joke. So maybe don't judge me on that one. That was it. And you know what? That's going to do it for us today. We're butting up against our timeline here. And that'll do it for us today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to direct it by following me at my Instagram / social media accounts. Just type in JOBOB. Pretty much anywhere on social media, you'll be able to find me. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Getter, True Social. All of these social media platforms. Yeah, that's that. We will be back same time, same place tomorrow. Actually, I think I have jury duty tomorrow, so we'll see if I'm here or have to go in and be summoned by the government to do my job as an American citizen and sit on a jury of trial of one of my peers. Anyways, if you're just joining us now and you would like to catch up, you can rewatch the show on any of the platforms that it airs on. Just click the play button. You can fast forward to any of the topics that you're. I didn't know some people don't know that this is a live show, but also you can rewatch at any point. Mostly on Facebook, also YouTube, Twitter, wherever else it is that we're streaming Getter. So there's that. Anyways, that'll do it for us today. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, if I don't get called to jury duty, same time, same place. God bless America.